5.1 operations with polynomials. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be dealing with exponents that are going to be at different powers, and once they're in the different powers, depending on what operation they're going to do, will signify what we need to do with it. So let's first look at here. First we have the product. Product means multiplication. So when you have x to the a times x to the b, multiplication goes with addition. For example, the easiest one to see is when you're dealing with a variable. So p squared times p to the ninth, you're going to add those together to get you p to the 2 plus 9, which is 11. It is not p to the 2 times 9. Okay? It's not p to the 2 times 9. It's p to the 2 plus 9. When you multiply the variables, you add the exponents. With quotient, when you divide, quotient's division, when you divide two variables, you subtract. Okay, so again, the easiest one to look at would be the variables. b to the 6 over b to the 4th, you subtract those. B to the 6 minus 4 is b squared. Notice x cannot be equal to 0 because you can't have 0 on the bottom of a fraction. That would make it undefined, right? Any number over 0 is undefined. Okay, next we have the negative rule. Okay, next we talk about the negative exponent. So whenever you have x to the negative power, it can't be negative and you have to make it positive. So the way you make it positive is by putting it to the bottom of the fraction. So it's 1 over x to the a power. And the other way around, if you have 1 over x to the negative power, to make it positive, you bring it to the top of the fraction. So again, let's look at the variable. 1 over b to the negative 7th, to make that negative positive, you bring it to the top. And if you had 3 to the negative 5, make that positive, you bring it to the bottom. Okay, power of a power, this is when you multiply x to the a to the b power, you multiply those together. Power of product, it's like distribute property, the a goes to the x and to the y. Same with quotient. And then anything to the power of 0 is 1. Okay, so these are some important facts about what a monomial is, okay, and how to simplify it. So there are no powers of powers. Each base appears exactly once, so you can't have like two x's or two y's. All fractions must be in the simplest form. That means you need to reduce. And lastly, there's no negative exponents, meaning if your final answer looks like x to the negative 2 over y, okay, you can't leave it like that. You would have to move this to the bottom. And we're going to look at examples. Okay, so let's start this first one. This one, you're just going to multiply the coefficients together. So that's negative 8. And then you're multiplying the variables. When you multiply the variables, you add the exponents. So that's 3 plus 2. And then b to the negative 2 plus 4. So negative 8, a to the 5th, b squared. Nothing is negative. Yes, I know my coefficient is negative, but that's fine. I can't have negative exponents, but a negative coefficient is just fine. Let's look at number 2. This one here is division. 12 divided by 2 is 6. That goes on the top. We're dividing, so you subtract x to the 4 minus 1 and y to the 5 minus 2. Now here's your thought bubble. When dividing, move the smaller exponent to the larger exponent. So that's what I did there. The x to the first, that's smaller, so I moved it up to the 4. And y squared is smaller, So I moved it down to the 5. So we're going to reduce this. We're going to get 6 x cubed at the top, y cubed at the bottom. Since none of them are negative, none of my exponents are negative, that's my answer. Let's look at 3. This is like distributive property, so 3 is going to go to everything inside, the top and the bottom. So this gets you 2 cubed, a to the 2 times 3 is 6, over 3 cubed, b cubed. We're going to get the squares out of there, so 2 cubed is 8, a to the 6th, over 9b cubed. And that's my answer. Again here, distribute to everything. 6 cubed, g to the 15, we're multiplying those. H to the negative 12. Okay, so 6 cubed is 216, I believe. G to the 15. Now we can't leave this negative, so we bring it to the bottom. H to the positive 12, and that's my answer. Let's look at 49. It's a little bit more going on. So I would bring together the top. My coefficients go together. 5 times 2 is 10. We're adding. So this is x to the 4 plus 5 and y to the 2 plus 6, which gets you 10 x to the 9th, y to the 8th, over 20 x cubed y to the 5th. Now we have to reduce everything. Move the smaller one. So the 3 is going to move up, and actually the 5 is going to move up too. So 10 divided by 20 is 2. 1 over 2. X to the 9 minus 3 and y to the 8 minus 5. My answer is x to the 6th, y cubed over 2. Okay, next. This says determine whether this is a polynomial. So what makes something a polynomial? Well, this a, right? So what a polynomial is the degree is equal to 1, meaning the exponent is no higher than 1. Okay, and there's no variable in the denominator. Okay, so this one here, 3x plus 4y, yes, this is a polynomial. This one here, since that's x squared, this is no, it's not a polynomial. Okay, this one here, no, it's not a polynomial because of this cube. Oh, I'm sorry, the cubed, the square root. And this one here is no as well. Okay, now we're just going to do basic operations here. So first we want to subtract polynomials together. So you're going to distribute the negative sign. So x squared minus 5x plus 2 minus 3x squared minus x plus 1. From there you're going to collect like terms. So you're going to collect the x squareds together to get you a negative 2x squared. Collect the 5's together to get you minus 6x. And then your constants to get you a plus 3. Number 10, again, collecting like terms, there's nothing to distribute here, so you're going to bring the a's together, 9a, bring the b's together, minus 2b. Let's keep going. Number 11, we just distribute the 2a to each of them, so it gets you 2 times 4 is 8. Now, you always try to keep these in alphabetical order, ab plus 10a. Next, this one here, we're going to distribute this whole thing. So 6x cubed y minus 9x cubed y squared plus 12x to the 4th y cubed. That's our answer. Okay. Number 13, this is simple foiling or distributing. It's better to say distribute. Okay, so I know you guys can do that one on your own. This one here, what you're going to want to do, the easiest thing, is just to start with the first two, get those, and then go from there. So make the a go to both. 2a squared plus 3ab. Again, keeping them in alphabetical order, it'll help collect like terms. Next, you're going to do the b. That's plus 2ab plus 3b squared. Collect like terms, see keeping them in alphabetical order help me. So 2a squared plus 5ab plus 3b squared. Next, because this is commutative, I can write this 2x minus y up here in front and then distribute that. So 4a squared x plus 5abx, again I'm keeping them in alphabetical order, plus 3b squared x, I'm sorry, let me back up. This is 10abx, this is 6b squared x, and then I'm going to do the y, negative 2ay squared minus 5aby minus 3b squared y. And there's no collecting like terms here. That ends up being our answer. Let's look at 63. So this one's interesting. It says what makes k, what's the value of k if you have this equation? All right, so we know that q of 40, we have q of 41 equals q. When you multiply two variables, what do you do to the exponents? You add them. 4k plus 5. And now that you have your bases are the same, what's nice is these can cancel. So you have 41 equals 4k plus 5. Subtract 5. 4k is equal to 36, and k is equal to 9. And we'll practice word problems in class.